Yankees, Red sucks. Oof. Now we're getting a little too deep.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. All right, let's get some more questions going. Those were good. I'm going to sit on my knees because that way I can see these questions better, guys.
So let's move on to the record, Joe. Lines, vines, and trying times.
We got a few more questions, Nick, to answer, though, they say here. Where are you at? Did we answer that already? I think we did.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be? That's my favorite question.
Wow.
I think I'd be able to shoot. No, not shoot. I just want to be able to teleport. I don't have to fly. I don't have to drive. I just want to be able to get from one place to the other and never have to worry about it.
Yep.
Sounds like a pretty...
Or communicate with people. Communicate with
going
people
to the
in my
record.
mind.
If we're going back to the record, I'll come back here, guys. You don't mean to cover you up.
On to the album. So let's start with Don't Speak.
Don't wait. That's a good one. Did you watch Ponyo?
Yes. Ponyo
Awesome.
rules.
Ponyo,
a little brother
Frankie. He's in Ponyo's first major motion picture besides our 3D movie, and he was incredible in it. Just a great job. So on to the record. Let's talk about Don't Speak. I want to talk about this song in particular because this is one where we actually, this is a funny story about this song. We wrote the chorus and the verses last year while we were on tour, like early in the tour though, and the music was a lot different than what you hear on the album now. And basically we kind of sat down with our producer John Fields, who's done the last 3 of our records, and we said we want to do something to make this song pop, make it sound different and cool. And so he kind of gave some suggestions and came up with the way that it sounds now with that really cool beat. And basically, it all kind of went from there. And it's one of my favorite songs on the record, and I hope that you guys like it too. Do you have any questions about some of the songs on the album? Let us know. We'd love to answer them. Now that you've heard it, you can ask specific questions, things that maybe you were wondering about, what inspired the songs, maybe what inspired the music. So just let us know, and we will try to answer it to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
So guys, it's frozen. It says it's frozen at 103,229 viewers.
That's awesome.
So maybe there's more than that, but that's what it says right now. So that's a lot of people. So they had music questions. Here you go. Do you guys believe in aliens or ghosts? Have you ever played? Oh wow, they're coming in quick. I made the screen bigger. That helps. Okay.
117.
I like what you did to my heart.
Oh, what I do to your heart. That's cool. That song we wrote while we were on tour with Avril Lavigne in Europe, actually. We wrote it in a shower at a venue. It was a big shower, like a team shower. And it was awesome. Cool song inspired by a group called the Zootons out of the UK that we really like.
Grace Nightlinger asked, what was Don't Charge Me for the Crime inspired about? That was actually kind of just a story song for us. We wrote that just out of nowhere. Like, we were thinking of ideas to write a song about, and we wanted to write something completely different, and that was kind of the idea. So we kind of decided to... Do you guys like that one?
I love that song, Joe. I think for me, that song was really cool because we wrote it, and we wrote it with Ryan, which was really neat. And
our keyboard player.
Yeah, and that was really rad for us to be able to do something different and whatever. And I think my favorite song on the record definitely have to be, I love What Did I Do to Your Heart, because it has that country feel. That was really fun.
It said, what made you choose Common to rap on Charge Me for the Crime?
Common is a very talented rapper, but he's also kind of like a poet. He doesn't just rap about things, random things. He really has a point to what he's writing about, and it's cool to see.
Kevin, can you set me up on a date with Garbo?
Awesome. We can do that.
Oh man, there was a question that said, Joe, do you want to get married like Kevin?
Do I want to get married? Eventually, probably yes. I don't know who it will be yet, but...
Nick, your muscles look bigger.
He keeps them completely flexed at all times now.
All the time.
Only on chest, just flexing. That's it.
Funny, fun.
Why did you write World War III?
World War III is actually a song that I wrote.
You wrote it in the Bahamas, man.
Wrote it in the Bahamas. I was heavily inspired one night, but the funny story about this song is that I came up with the concept for the song like a year and a half before, but I couldn't write it for some reason. I just could never sit down and write this song in particular. until I think it was in May while we were doing those one-offs in the Bahamas. So I was able to sit down by the pool one day and I grabbed the guitar and wrote it, and it was awesome.
Joe, how does it feel to be 20? Feels pretty good, actually. I'm no longer a teenager. I don't know what that means. At heart, I will always be.
There's a comment that said, Nick Jonas, you look older than Joe.
Nick, why'd you write Black Keys?
Black Keys is a song that I wrote at the piano in our house. It was a kind of it sounds like a story, but it was a stormy day in Los Angeles, and it was the nighttime, and it was like me. I think I was alone at the house. Everyone else was out, and I saw the piano. It was just sitting there, so I went out and I sat by the piano and wrote it. And it just came to me. And originally the concept, it only took like 20 minutes, but originally the concept was that, it was the first song that I'd written on the black keys of the piano. I'd written a bunch on the white keys, but the black keys was the only one. And so then the concept came that it wasn't about the black keys, but about how sometimes seeing things black and white, day and night is much better than trying to mix it up with color and ruin the picture. And it just really stood out to me, that concept that sometimes simplicity is better, and not letting things get inside your head that could kind of mess you up from the path you're on.
There's a question, Nick, that said, do you guys purposely put the words lines, vines, and trying times in your songs on this last record?
When we wrote
Thank
the
you
album,
for noticing that.
Yeah.
When we wrote the album, we kind of we looked at all the songs, and there's these few words that kept popping up in each song. One was lines, one was vines, one was trying times, and they kind of all went together, and that's how we kind of came up with the name.
Definitely. I think putting those words in the songs actually kind of made the whole album kind of like come back to one, because we had a bunch of different sounds and feels on the record, so it really made it feel uniform.
We were raised in an eclectic group of music and artists, and so we wanted to make this album something, kind of three different individual sounds. There's a bit of a country flair in some of the songs, kind of a more funk, Minneapolis funk sound, and then I think the other one was just kind of our straightforward pop rock sound. And so to take all those sounds and try to make this next album was a challenge for us, but really exciting.
There's a question that said, do you ever make songs that aren't on the album? Oh yeah, tons. We write lots and lots of songs that don't make the album, and sometimes they carry over to other albums. Like, for example, Live to Party was a song we wrote originally for like the original Jonas Brothers record, and then it carried over to the Jonas soundtrack for the TV show.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What's your favorite movie, Nick?
My favorite movie? My favorite movie would be The Natural. It's probably the best movie ever made.
It really is.
Like a movie called Chaos Theory, Larger Than the Real Girl, Four Feathers, and James Bond, Casino Royale.
Scroll wrote, why'd you guys write Turn Right? Turn Right...
We were watching NASCAR.
No. We were actually on the set of our TV show, and there's a song that you should all go check out right now by Bryan Adams called Walk On By. It's a song that inspired Turn Right, and we listened to the song together. Joe showed it to us, and we fell in love with it, and we said we should write a song like this. We really like this song. So we grabbed the guitars in the dressing room when we had some downtime from shooting, and basically just wrote the song, and it kind of came to us and was a really cool thing, and played it for Chelsea Staub, who plays Stella on the show. She loved it, and it was just cool to see that that kind of came together like that, being inspired by another artist. So how many songwriters do we have in the chat right now? If you're a songwriter, just write us and tell us that you're a songwriter, and then tell us how long you've been writing songs. Because we're always interested to...
Definitely.
I saw a comment that said, Joe, I have a pig named Joe. It's pretty awesome.
I have a pig named Joe. I have a pig named Joe.
Alright, you have a pig named Joe?
I have a pig named Joe. Oh, yeah.
When is the Jonas soundtrack coming out? Do you know when this song?
I'm not completely sure.
I don't either.
You know what's very exciting?
I'm a songwriter.
What's very exciting?
Daisy Hayes says...
Keep it up, Daisy Hayes. So, lots of I'm a songwriter.
Wow.
So...
Story writer. That's cool. Roxy Jones.
Camp Rock 2 is upon us.
It is upon us.
We actually have the script on the ground.
CR2.
I'm gonna cover it.
I'm gonna flash.